Hey there, guys. Before the video for this starts, I actually wanted to make this a sort of special memoriam for someone who recently passed away this year. And this was unknown to me. It took a friend of, not a friend of mine, but yeah, I consider all you guys as friends, but one of my subscribers recently told this to me that recently Chris Ayers, the voice of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, Frieza, recently passed away due to some complications and a sort of respiratory breathing disease that he's been fighting with for a long time. I could probably think of one of the reasons why he's been dealing with for a long time. I mean, considering doing the Frieza voices really, really hard to do. But it's a disease he's been fighting with. I forgot the actual name of it, but yeah. One of my subscribers told me that he passed away this year, and as per request, wanted me to do a review in order to honor him, basically. Oh, also before this starts, I put together a little slideshow of the actor, and also as a memoriam to him. So, Chris Ayers, this is for you, buddy. You gave us so much joy as the new Frieza, so here you go. Yep, yep. Good man. Real good man. Yeah, he needs all the prayers he needs up in heaven right now. Yeah. So if you guys want to, raise your hands up to the sky in the comments section and give him the energy that he needs to be one with the angels. As long as he doesn't ends on them to death or, use his death beam or his death wave or something like that. Yeah, I kind of went for a joke there with being serious, but yeah. Moving on from that, uh, sorry, almost messed with the intro, but anyway, hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel. More specifically, welcome back to the Lionheart Review Corner. Yes, we are back with another Lionheart Review Corner, and as I said, this is a special request from one of you guys because of, well, you already know what I said in the intro. And specifically, since it happens to be Dragon Ball Z related, well, more specifically, Dragon Ball Super related, but, yes. Anyway, as you probably couldn't tell in the past, I am a huge, huge Dragon Ball Z fan. And for the fact, a huge Dragon Ball fan in general. Or if you couldn't really tell from this poster right here, then I don't know where you guys have been for the last few months. I'm just kidding, though. I'm really just kidding. But yes, I am a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and I did recently watch the trailer for the new Dragon Ball Super movie coming out, and I'm not too excited about that. Not entirely super excited about it coming out, because just for a fact, how exactly could you follow up with a already good Dragon Ball Super movie that that basically came out about 1 year ago, actually. Or, no, not 1 year ago, actually about 2 years ago. No, then again, it actually came out 3. I'm not so good with math, guys. I'm not that great with math. But yeah, basically a Dragon Ball Super movie that already came out 3 years ago, and it was considered one of the best Dragon Ball Super movies, or as best as a continuation for Dragon Ball Super you could ever get. And if you couldn't tell from the title of the video, that's what we're reviewing today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a look at Dragon Ball Super Broly. Dragon Ball Super Broly, released on July 16th of 2019, and also as a quick little confirmation that I messed up and it was actually 2 years ago, not 3, so apologies in advance to everyone for messing up the date that it came out, was the continuation of the popular third Dragon Ball series, I believe. No, wait, fourth, actually, again, another confirmation. The fourth series, Dragon Ball Super, which was the continuing adventures of Goku and his friends fighting off against evildoers and other really skilled, powerful warriors from other universes. And surprisingly, this was also the fourth Broly movie that we've ever gotten, but with a few minor differences on not only the character, but his story. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what? How exactly could they change Broly's character to what we already know him as? You know, a steroid-injected guy that always shouts, Kakarot! You know, something like that. Well, you're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, let's not waste any time and get our Dragon Raiders out and hunt for those mystical, magical Dragon Balls. And let's take a look at Dragon Ball Super Broly. Alright, again, going off the top of my head, considering it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but we'll see how it goes. So, our movie opens up on the well-known planet Vegeta. You know, before Frieza blows it to a smoldering crater. Speaking of Frieza, though, he just happens to show up with all of his Frieza Force members, and for some reason, the Ginyu Force, I guess Frieza just couldn't really go anywhere without them or something. Now, the reason Frieza is there on planet Vegeta, he plans to give King Vegeta, again, trying to remember not going tongue-tied too much, he plans to give Vegeta some new scouters that will actually, you know, detect more objects and more power levels, whether they be high power levels or low power levels. And as he demonstrates the scouters, you know, abilities, he notices that there are a bunch of people pinpointed on Frieza and his forces about to blow them up. Frieza, not being a chump, legit just blows those guys up instantly with no regret or no remorse like whatsoever. So yeah, Frieza's starting off pretty good as an evil villain in this movie so far. Meanwhile, turns out we're also going into the whole story of, you know, Broly, Paragus' son, as apparently he has almost the same high power level as King Vegeta's son, named Vegeta. Yeah, Vegeta's naming lineage is just a little too awkward for my taste. Moving on from that, King Vegeta notices this and apparently just decides to get rid of Broly. And Paragus also takes notice of this and decides to hijack a ship that was transferring cargo, I believe, and decides to go after his son to, you know, save him, basically. Oh, there's also the whole subplot going on between, you know, Bardock, Goku's supposed father, or, yeah, his father, and his mother, who I instantly forgot her name, which you guys can let me know in the comment section down below. Any Dragon Ball Z fans out there that know the name of Goku's mother in this movie and the actual name of the character for, you know, Goku's, like, parents and everything. I mean, we already know his father's name is Bardock, but, you know, moving on from that, there's the whole thing about, you know, him secretly wanting to get Kakarot off the planet, kind of like Superman. Which is weird because I remember watching the death battle of Goku and Superman saying that, yeah, they're both aliens that landed on Earth and whatnot, so they're kind of similar and shouldn't really be fighting each other, but hey, death battle wants them to fight each other, so it's not their choice. But yeah, so Goku escapes, Bardock does his whole heroic sacrifice to face Frieza, but dies in the process of also having Planet Vegeta also blow up, and yeah, things don't go too well for our heroes and all that. Speaking of our heroes, well, not exactly our heroes, we cut back to Paragus as he actually located where his son was sent to. the planet Vampa, which is not a very wholesome planet to live on. Though Broly found a way to be comfortable on it, as he's actually taken out a few creatures on there, and is also kid-sized now, and semi-older, I think it would say about 4 years maybe. But then again, 4-year-old babies don't really, eat the monsters that they destroy, which is what Broly does. Anyway, speaking of the kid characters, we actually do get a little moment where we do see Vegeta as a kid now, and Kid Raditz. Yep, Raditz as a kid, and he has that long Super Saiyan 3-like hair. Oh, it's still hilarious to look at. Oh yeah, and we also get to see Nappa with some hair also in this movie, surprisingly. Then again, he probably did shave it all off, or something happened to his hair after, things went bad for Planet Vegeta and all that. Meanwhile, back on the planet, it seems that Paragus and Broly are having pretty much the time of their life. And, just training again and all that, trying to bulk up his son so they could go take revenge on King Vegeta. And also to make sure of that, he also kills the pilot that took him there. And they kind of had a little bond there for a second, but no, he straight up murders him. Crazy. So the years go by, and we actually get a nice little slideshow of Goku and Vegeta sort of growing up in their age. Goku getting the bump on his head, forgetting that he was a Saiyan, Raditz showing up to let him know he was a Saiyan, him and Vegeta fighting each other for the first time in Season 1, and then basically going through that whole thing of them becoming more and more like rivals and friends, and sort of friends. And we actually cut to a bit years later, which actually, fun fact, this movie is actually set after the last arc of Dragon Ball Super. The Universal Tournament. And it's at this point where Goku actually wants to go to other planets and face stronger opponents so he could get stronger because, that's his goal. And there was also the little fact that during the Universal Tournament, he also resurrected Frieza. And Frieza's still out doing bad things. More specifically, looking for the Dragon Balls. And sadly, you want to know his wish for when he gets the Dragon Balls? It's not to take over the world, or it's not get stronger than Goku so he can kill him. No, it's basically that he wants to grow. Yes, you heard me right. He wants to grow. A few inches taller, basically, but yeah, great wish there, Frieza. So cutting back to Broly and his father, still on planet Vampa, they surprisingly get picked up by Frieza and his forces, basically. And Frieza just basically says that, yeah, they have a common goal, basically going against Vegeta, wanting to kill him, of course. And Frieza takes notice of Broly, asking the question, can he actually fight? And Paragus tells him that, yeah, I trained him to fight, basically, and he is a pretty strong fighter. And surprisingly, things don't go too well for that. Except for two characters that happen to be in the Frieza Force, Chila and Lomo, or Limo. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. They kind of get into a fight with one of Frieza's goons, and Broly surprisingly steps in to try and protect them. Kind of different for his character, though, which is something interesting that I'm going to talk about in a sec. So yeah, Broly steps in, Paragus uses a different device to basically control him instead of using an energy thing for a necklace that he wore in the DBZ Broly movie, but a shock collar. Yeah, great change. Great change for that. But yeah, so Chila and Broly kind of get a little moment together, as of course he's never had any other kind of food because he's kind of got like primitive instincts because, hey, let's remember, Saiyans were originally monkeys. Or no, wait, they grow into giant monkeys because of the tails they have. Yeah, still awkward, but really awesome for characters like that. So yeah, they kind of have a moment together, and we actually get kind of a sad backstory moment for Broly, where he actually says he doesn't really like to fight. but he basically was forced to fight and trained for his father because his father wanted him to be a great fighter. And surprisingly, on Vampa, he actually made a friend who Paragus later killed, and now Broly wears its ear as a pelt. Yeah, really, really not great, but actually a really kind of sad backstory for Broly, if you think about it. But moving on from sad backstories, Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma also pick up a sort of signal from the Dragon Radar about, the Dragon Balls. And of course, Frieza is still after them, and they end up on the same icy planet or something. Or I think it's still Earth, but they're probably somewhere in Antarctica or something. I have absolutely no idea. And everyone's there. Paragus, Frieza, Broly, Goku, Bulma, and Vegeta, and I think Jocko joined them, of course. I'm not sure, it's been a while, but I think Jocko was with them when this was happening. And surprisingly, things don't go too well for Paragus, seeing that Vegeta does have the resemblance to his father, and asks, Broly, who, by the way, I forgot to actually mention this at the start of this, is actually voiced by Johnny Young Bosch, not Vic Mignogna. There was this whole thing going with the cast and Vic Mignogna that got leaked online, and it was proven false. And apparently Vic Mignogna stepped down from voicing Broly again, and actually got Adam from Power Rangers to voice Broly. Though he has voiced other characters in anime before, specifically Ichigo from Bleach. And by the way, if that's something you guys want me to cover for an anime review, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will get a chance to review that. But anyway, yeah, back to the fight. Paragus orders Broly to attack, and this is where the fight actually begins. And just letting you know, I'm giving you a quick summary because most of the rest of the movie is just the fight between Vegeta, Goku, and Broly. Or Vegeta and Goku versus Broly. And it's an amazing fight to watch. And it definitely helps that the animation really helps to make the fight more fluent, basically. So Vegeta goes first and basically realizes that Broly has had some training, apparently. Not too much, after Vegeta basically goes Super Saiyan and then Super Saiyan God for some reason. Don't know how he did that, how he ended up getting that power. Though when this happened, the audience that we were with when we got to see the movie, me and my dad went to go see it, and it was packed, roared in awesomeness, and it was just amazing. But surprisingly, unknown to Frieza, Broly can't go Super Saiyan. That is until he unlocks a sort of berserk mode for himself that is actually stronger than Super Saiyan God, and Vegeta gets the crap kicked out of him. Badly. That is until Goku steps in, and the music kicks in, and the fight is incredible. Though realizing that Broly is a lot stronger, especially in Super Saiyan Blue. Well, until Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue and beats the crap out of Broly. That is until Frieza remembers that, Saiyans can go to an overpowered state if something tragic happens. So guess what he does? He kills Paragus right in front of Broly, even though Broly doesn't see it, and says that the Saiyans basically killed him. And that's when Broly goes over the top and transforms into, I think, a legendary Berserk mode for himself. It's kind of resembling his legendary Super Saiyan form. And oh boy, Goku and Vegeta have a battle for themselves. And it is just epic. Sadly, the two realize they're not strong enough to beat Broly, and actually get in contact with Piccolo, saying they need to come up with a plan to basically, save themselves. So they leave Frieza behind, and Frieza actually gets pip-slapped by Broly, and it's actually a funny moment. Though Frieza does get the upper hand and try and fight Broly off, sadly not doing too well, while Goku and Vegeta are figuring out a plan to stop Broly. Until they realize there's only one course of action. They have to fuse. And surprisingly, after a few things of failing the fusion, they finally get it together and culminate to Gogeta. Now you're thinking, why not use the Potara earrings? Well, sadly, they don't have them because Vegeta destroyed them in Dragon Ball Z. Although Super, they still were able to get that back somehow. And after things went a little too crazy, they still had the fusion dance, which doesn't really last very long. And they go back to face off Broly, not only as normal Gogeta, but as Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. That's basically when Chila is watching this whole fight and realizing that Broly could possibly get killed, so she in turn takes the Dragon Balls, wishes that Broly was somewhere safe so they can get out of there, and the fight ends. Goku and Vegeta resort to themselves and having to go find the Dragon Balls again, but Goku has an idea of his own. He decides to basically track the energy using his instant transmission of Broly, or he uses Broly's energy to track him and uses instant transmission to find him, where he basically says that he doesn't really want to fight Broly, but wants to train with him on occasion. And that lets him happen. And the movie ends pretty much on a good note with Goku saying to Broly, "Call me Kakarot." And that sets up that whole thing too now, if you think about it. Well, there you have it, guys. That was my review of Dragon Ball Super Broly. And I spittled a little bit, so sorry about that. So, what are my initial thoughts on this movie? Yeah, I still think it's definitely a really good continuation for the Dragon Ball Super series. Not only that, I don't really have very many negative things to say about this movie. I'm sure a lot of you do in the comments section, which, again, that's fine, that's your own opinion, but I don't really have very many negative things to say about this movie. The fight scenes are great, the action's awesome, the animation is great, the voice cast all coming back for this, minus Vic Mignogna and all that. And surprisingly, I forgot to mention, we don't really get much of Beerus in this movie. He appears for, like, the beginning part of it, but that's all we do get, because he's left babysitting Pan. Yeah, by the way, Pan is in this series, and she's just starting her training as a Saiyan and harnessing her powers and all that, which we'll get to see in the next movie, by the way. But yeah, moving on from that, I really do enjoy this movie. Again, considering I'm a Dragon Ball Super, or I'm both a Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super fan, or as you can tell by my posters that I am a anime fan, basically. But yeah, moving on from that, I want to get the positives out of the way. Again, the voice cast is really great for that. A lot of the Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z voice cast returns for this. You know, Christopher Sabat comes back as, or Chris Sabat, as people pronounce it. I forget how it's pronounced. He comes back voicing Vegeta and Piccolo in this. Sean Schemmel, again, not sure how to pronounce his last name. Sean Schemmel comes back as Goku, which is awesome. And again, like I said, Johnny Young Bosch voicing Broly in this movie is honestly a treat to watch. Speaking of Broly, I actually want to get something quick out of the way. I actually do like the character change that they have for Broly in this movie. They actually give him more character development in this entire film than they did in the Dragon Ball Super movie, the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie and its sequels. Not counting Bio Broly, because it's just Broly with sludge and mutated parts on him, so don't really count that. But yeah, I really do like that they give the character more development, and it makes you think you want to see more of him in Dragon Ball Super if it comes back for another arc. Which hopefully it does. Like I said, the fight scenes are really great. The animation does help make it more fluent and amazing to watch, especially some of the up-close shots of the punches and kicks that all the characters are delivering. And surprisingly, the attacks are more impressive with flashes of light. Although, sensitive warning for people, if you do plan to watch the movie, be careful with that, because you will probably have a seizure with all that and stuff. But, yeah, there is that. If I would have any kind of, like, negative things to say about the movie, or just basic complaints, it's kind of weird that, like, the characters don't even recognize Broly in this. You think they would have, because this series is going after Dragon Ball Z, and Broly was a canon character Not in the series, but in the movies. But I guess you could say, yeah, this is going to be a movie where most characters that are in it aren't going to be canon for the series. But who knows? Again, if Dragon Ball Super does come back for another arc, Broly could come back in this. But yeah, I think that's like my only kind of complaint that I have about this movie. So, what... Oh, let me fix my hair and clear my throat for a second. Yeah. So, what do I give Dragon Ball Super Broly? Well, I'm definitely going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. I really did enjoy the movie, loved the action, the characters, the major character development for Broly as a character in this movie, and just the animation was spectacular to watch. And it does kind of tug at your heartstrings with that little backstory that Broly gives about the friend that he had on the planet and saying that like he basically doesn't want to fight, but he gives a smile to Goku at the end of the movie for wanting to train with him so they could, maybe fight again, but as equals and allies and something like that. But yeah. Also, again, want to give a major respect, to Chris Ayers, who voiced Frieza in this and in Dragon Ball Super. Hope you're hearing this up there, big guy, because you deserve all the praise. He really does. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching this review and this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a new video. With that being said, I will see all you awesome guys and gals and anime fans and Dragon Ball Z fans later. Bye-bye!